Ukraine must cede territory in any peace deal, Marco Rubio says. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said today that Ukraine would have to make concessions over land that Russia had taken since 2014, that includes Crimea, of course, as part of any agreement to end the war. Rubio spoke as he was flying to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for talks with senior Ukrainian officials, and 10 days after a contentious White House meeting between President Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart Zelensky. The Trump administration halted military aid to Ukraine after the blow-up, which centered on President Trump's refusal to include any security guarantees in a proposed deal involving Ukraine's natural resources. The most important thing that we have to leave here with is a strong sense that Ukraine is prepared to do difficult things, like the Russians are going to have to do difficult things to end this conflict, or at least pause it in some way, shape, or form, Rubio said. Rubio declined to offer the outline of the potential agreement, but made clear that concessions by both sides would be central to diplomacy. I think both sides need to come to an understanding that there is no military solution to this situation, Rubio said. The Russians cannot conquer all of Ukraine, and obviously it'll be very difficult for Ukraine in any reasonable time period to sort of force the Russians back all the way to where they were in 2014. Rubio added that it would be imperative in future talks with Moscow to determine what Russia was willing to concede. He said, "We don't know how far apart they truly are." The talks on Tuesday, like tomorrow, of course, will likely not delve into the postponed agreement on Ukrainian natural resources that Trump had described as compensation for U.S. military support the 3 years since Russia's full-scale invasion. He said that the American financial interest in Ukraine, fossil fuels, and rare earth minerals would provide Ukraine with implied security. Although the United States has stopped sharing some intelligence with Ukraine, Rubio said it was still providing Ukraine with information that allowed it to continue defending itself against Russian attacks. He also said there had never been a threat of removing Ukraine's access to Starlink, the internet service company owned by Elon Musk, SpaceX, even as the United States has been pressuring Ukraine in recent weeks. Trump has also threatened to impose additional sanctions on Russia in response to Moscow's continued military activity. Rubio said the United States was trying to demonstrate that it still has ways to coerce Russia in an effort to bring it to a negotiating table with Ukraine. Rubio said he and the Ukrainian officials will most likely discuss the resumption of military assistance during the meetings on Tuesday. He said the U.S. position on the issue could change if he believed that Ukraine was seriously committed to peace. And he said, "I can assure you this, we will not be providing military aid to the Russians." And this is from New York Times on DNYUZ. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.